It's something different. It's that voice inside of me. No more feeling empty. No more rushing. No more pretending to be someone else. No more searching. I have one life. I can live an amazing life. I can be free. What if less is more? Less stress, less debt, less of arguments, less of proving your worth, and more of time, more happiness, more peace, more money. That's what minimalism can offer you. Discover how minimalism can grow your business and life. Go to minimalistentrepreneur.com. Each week, a minimalist entrepreneur with your host, Zurika, aims to connect you with real successful people who share their success strategies that you can use in your business. So, here's Zurika.
Good morning, everybody. This is Zurika from A Minimalist Entrepreneur, and today we have a bright, smiling face with us. She is an expert in her own field. Her name is Placida Acheru, and she is a coach, but her story is a little bit different because she's always been an entrepreneur at heart. She's always done stuff to be able to create money and wealth, even though she might have been an administrator when she first started out in her career. And from there, obviously, she's transitioned now where she helps women and I guess men at the same time to be able to start a business and not have doubt, not be in the mindset where you have to work really hard X number of years before you can even get traction in your business. And I think that's really important for a lot of us as professionals because we have an identity attached to ourselves. And then when we transition into our own business, sometimes we fail to recognize that we can start, with momentum on the first day rather than having to work really hard, create a brand for the next 1 year before we can actually gain momentum. So with that, I would love to invite her on the call so that you can hear it from her own voice. So Placida, welcome on board.
Thank you so much, Zurika.
So Placida, in your own words, if you can let us know what you do for a profession, that'll be awesome.
I'll try and make it as simple as possible. I work with business owners to develop, get found, and start closing clients quickly. So getting found is one of the difficult parts when growing your business, for people to know that you exist. And so I help business owners to do that really quickly.
Awesome. And before we can dive into the topic, which is a really exciting topic for today, she's going to be speaking about how to build your authority quickly when you're starting out instead of feeling stuck. So Placida, the random question that I have for you is, when you first started out for your first business, whatever that business was, what was it?
Oh, my very first business was buying and selling. So I went and bought some fabric from a market, and I went back to school and sold the fabric and made some profit. And I got really, really excited about it because I was a student then. I was very young. I was, I think, 18 or so.
Cool. That's awesome. With that, Placida, I'll give it up to you to speak on the topic, which is how to build your authority quickly.
Thank you so much. The topic of how to build your authority quickly comes up a lot. And, if new business owners can build their authority quickly, then they would cease to struggle in their business. And I'm just going to break it down and, help us with simple steps that you can do right now and move your business forward. Now, one of the first questions I ask my clients when it comes to building authority quickly is, how do you want to be perceived by your potential clients? How do you want the world to see you? So when you're thinking about creating your business, what is the concept in your head that you want the world to see? Do you want the world to see you as a new business, or do you want the world to see you as an established business? How do you want the world to see you? When they visit your web page, when they visit your social media page, your website page, what do they see? How do you want them to see you when they visit that page? Is there somebody you're already following online or offline and you like what they're doing and you would like to be like them? So once you have that clarity on how you want to be found, you're already on your way to success. So that's number one. How do you want the world to see you? Think about that. And once you've created that concept of what you want to be seen as, then you begin to have clarity. The next thing is finding your story. So everyone has a story, and that story, has to be passionate from inside your heart. So you don't begin to share someone else's story. Find your story. And your story might be marketing, it might be personal development, it might be youth development, it might be arts and crafts. Your story can be anything, but whatever that story is, you've got to be passionate enough to share that story with the world. And once you found that story, you merge that story with how you want to be seen. So there are two things, how you want to be seen and your story. And once you've merged them together, you begin to do what? Build trust from people who listen to your story. For example, Zurika is interviewing me now. Her story is that she wants the minimalistic entrepreneurs. She wants those people who do things simply and achieve results. That's her story. So she's finding entrepreneurs all over the world and she's interviewing them. And she's interviewing them because there are people out there who want to get results done and done fast. There's so many information out there. People are getting more and more confused on what's going on. There's like information overload. But she's now saying to the world, I can get you entrepreneurs who will tell you how to get things done quickly. That's her story. So find your story and find who you want to be and begin to live that life. So I'm going to tell you the reason why you need to build an authority in the first place. So one of the reasons is that you build trust from those who are listening to you, those who are reading from you. You build trust. You also gain respect from fellow entrepreneurs. So for instance, I started doing like a tele-summit, an online conference a few years back. What that did for me was it built trust. And I began to have partners from around the world because I was interviewing experts and the experts began to recognize me and they began to introduce me to other people. So I got known really quickly from doing these steps. You also have become a trusted source of information. So people will always say, go to Placida, she knows what she's talking about. So once you are sharing that story continually and you're passionate about that story you're sharing, people would always say, go to this person, go to Zurika, go to Placida. She knows what she's talking about. That is where you should get the right information. So I want to share a story about a client of mine. And this is like a clear picture of a woman who took action. Her name is Dr. Adeze Ife-Sukulike. She's a medical practitioner and she wanted to launch out quickly. And how did she find me? She found me on Facebook through one of my posts. So sending out message, communicating with people. And in less than 3 months working with me, she gained speaking engagements and I mean conferences. People began to invite her to speak in conferences. She became an Amazon bestseller in 3 categories. And she got features in magazines and newspaper. And that's because she found her story. She created a profile that she wanted to be known as and seen as. And she started to put that word out there. And she achieved all these things in less than 3 months working with me.
Wow.
Now let's get to
That's really
done,
cool.
how to get the work done. So I'm just telling you stories, but let's get to how to get the work done. Update your online profile by inserting relevant links on how you can be found. So if you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, any social media platform that you are in as a business owner, update it. I go to some profiles online and you can tell that they haven't touched their profiles for 5 years, 6 years. Your profile is your online CV, whether Facebook or Twitter. It's an online CV. It's the quickest way for people to find you. Zurika found me online and she must have been impressed with what she saw before she said, I would interview you. So update your online profile and that will attract more people to you. Clients or partners, it will attract people to you. Start writing on your preferred topic. So your story, that story you found, start writing on it. So if that story is social media, if it's marketing, if it's personal development, whatever it is, start writing on it. The minute you start writing on it, you build more trust from people and you build authority. Establish yourself on social media platforms. I sometimes meet business owners and I said, "Are you on Facebook?" And they say, "Oh, no, 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 I'm not on Facebook." I don't know why they're not on Facebook. So I'm saying to you now, if you're not on the major social media platforms, establish yourself there. Because what the present day generation does now is when you tell them or you give them a card in the business networking events, the first thing they do is go online and do a search on you and see where you pop up. If they're not convinced about what they see online, they will not communicate with you. They will not call you. So even big major corporations are on Facebook, are on Twitter, on Google+. So why will you not be there?
Yes.
So focus, establish your profile on major social media platforms. And for me, I would say find the platform that works with your business. So if you're into fashion or into catering, you might go to Pinterest or Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you might do that, depending on the business that you run. But for me, as a coach, I am on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Google+, I'm on LinkedIn. So find, I'll say at least 3. Focus on at least 3 social media platforms and build your profile on them. Also build your relationship with those that you connect with online by communicating with them. So you find something on Facebook that you like, or you find something on Twitter, on LinkedIn that you like, comment, constructively. So make comments on this post that you see that you like. What happens is that you get noticed by the person who has written the post. You get noticed by those who are coming to read the post. And of course, your link is there. They're going to click on your link. They're going to request you as friend, or they're going to request you to be interviewed. Or I got featured in a book because I made a comment somewhere, and this lady found me through some activity I was involved in on Facebook. And then she wrote me and said, "I found you online. I like what I see about your profile, and I'm writing this book, and I'd like to feature you." So the social media, I'm trying to tell you the importance of social media. So build, your communication, meaningful communication on social media, build relationship, engage and support thought leaders. So if you find experts that you like, engage with them, support them. And the way you support them is by retweeting what they've tweeted, sharing their posts. And what that does is, as you share their posts, they take notice of you and their community takes notice of you. So if you're thinking of building your own community, you do that by being involved in other people's community. When you're actively involved, I don't mean spamming anybody. When you spam people, you put them off and they will delete you from their groups or whatever it is that you have found yourself, involved with them. So, but if you communicate constructively, you will grow, and people will identify with you. One other way to get known quickly is start building your own community. So start your own group on Facebook, start a blog, start building your own community. It might be a page on Facebook, start building your own community. When you build your own community and you give them valuable information, what they're going to do, they're going to advertise you. And they advertise you by sharing the content that you have provided. So you can also create workshops for yourself. I'm kind of running through, because I've got 10 minutes. I'm running through everything.
Yeah, it's okay. That's really good stuff that you're talking.
Kind of running through everything. So basically, create your community on Facebook, and then, people will share your content because they love you. They are loyal followers. They will share your content to their friends, and their friends would come to know who you are. Another way to build your authority is, if you don't already run workshops for the story that you're sharing. So let's say, for instance, you're into sales and marketing. Consider running workshops and training programs. It helps to build your authority. I started doing that when I first started my career, as a coach and mentor. I started by organizing networking events. And so people associated me with bringing business owners together, and bringing experts in to speak to these business owners. So I organized networking events, and it began to grow. And at a point, my networking events were filled up like almost 150 people at a time. So it was really big and really large. It wasn't my main goal. I knew where my goal was, but that was the start of my journey. And by doing that, I got in contact with all these business owners that came around, and I got in contact and I built relationship with the speakers that came into my event, and I even had Google at one time sponsor one of my events, so you grow when you start something and people begin to recognize you for what you're doing. You also launch yourself as a speaker. Another way to build your authority is launch yourself as a speaker. So when you found your story and you found that message that you want to share to the world, the more you write about it, maybe you're blogging or you write articles about it, then the next thing you're going to find is people are going to say, do you want to speak about this topic? And you're invited as a speaker. That speaking could be live events, it can be tele summits, it can be radio interviews. But as long as you're speaking, the more you speak, the more you are an authority in that topic. And you build yourself really quickly. So I'm just going to recap very quickly on everything, on how you can grow really quickly. Update all your online profiles by inserting relevant links that can help you be found. Start writing on your preferred topic. Establish yourself on major social media platforms. Find what suits your business, and I would say be on at least 3 social media platforms. Build relationships online by commenting meaningfully on blog posts, on posts on social media platforms. Start building a community of loyal followers and, who would help spread the word about your business and products. Engage and support thought leaders and influencers. And when you do that, you're indirectly placing yourself in a position of visibility by them and by their community. And when somebody gives you a stamp of approval, I think I missed that initially, which is like a testimonial. Use that testimonial, that stamp of approval on your site, when you talk, when you go and speak, on your social media platform, share it. And when other people see that someone has given you a testimonial, they will want to go to your website to know more about you. So always use testimonials. It helps to build your authority quickly. Create workshops and training that you can enroll people. Launch yourself as a speaker. Speak with passion. Speak your message. And let your communication always be with passion. Let your communication always be with passion. I hope that these points have helped. I just kind of ran through it, but I hope that you've heard me clearly. And, if you take these steps, you would quickly build yourself as an authority, I tell you.
Placida, just one very quick question before we can wrap up is, how you said we need to have at least 3 social media platforms to have the presence. Like on a daily basis, what would you think would be the time required so that you can actually be authentic rather than just have automated stuff being posted onto Facebook or on LinkedIn or on Twitter? What would you suggest? Like, how would you actually break down that particular section?
Well, I've had quite this question come to me a few times.
Yes.
And I would say when you're starting, don't overwhelm yourself. If you're able to post once a day, make it once a day, or make it valuable content. And then you graduate to twice a day, but space it out. So don't do twice a day after every 30 minutes or every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You can space it out after 2 hours, giving people time to look at it, and then the next post comes in. And then as you grow and your community grows, because we have smaller community, post less. When you have larger communities, you can post more, but space it out. I'll say between 2 hours to 4 hours spacing.
Right. Awesome. So basically the first thing that was a big turning point for me was to actually figure out how do you want the world to perceive you? How do you want to be known in the marketplace? Do you want to be known as I'm just starting out? Or do you want to be known that you know your stuff? And this is a key element that will make that slight shift into your way of thinking. And I think Placida actually did it very gracefully, and she highlighted the topic at the start itself, which allowed us to actually focus throughout when she was speaking. And I hope you felt that as well. But yes, so Placida, what I would love to do now is actually request anyone who's listening to this call, because there's only so much Placida can actually speak in about 10 to 15 minutes. What I would suggest is, if you like the way she has communicated, she's actually taken the time of her life to be able to share value to our community. The best thing would be to go to coaching, the number 4, excellence.com. So I'll spell it: coaching, COACHING, 4 as in the number 4, excellence, EXCELLENCE.com. And when you go to her website, you will see the impact it will have on you. Also go and check out her about section so you get to know Placida as a person. You'll be able to see she's got her Facebook community on her website, plus she does have a contact us form, along with there is a widget that comes up which asks you, let's talk and schedule something with Placida, so that you can take your business from where it is right now to actually getting known and following your dreams rather than delaying it because you're just going to try something different. So with that, Placida, I want to thank you for your time. If there's anything at the end you want to say before I close.
Thank you so much, Zurika. I also wanted to add that they could also go to I have another website, which is Placida Acheru, my name, .com. So there's coaching for excellence, but there's PlacidaAcheru.com.
Okay.
And they'll get more information about me there. Alternatively, just put my name on Google, so on the search engine Placida, and all the information about me will come up. And please feel free to contact me anytime on any of the social media platforms. I'm very quick to reply. I will reply you, and I will assist you. And I hope that the tips that I've shared today would help you, get known quickly, because it's really important in this age and time to be found, to be seen, and not just to be found and to be seen, but to be known as an authority in your topic, in your voice, in your story. So I hope that you would apply these tips and, just tell me your success stories. If you can email me and say, I did what you said and this is what has been happening to me. I'll love to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you once again. And to everyone out there, I wish you and your family an amazing time of your life. Make sure you live with passion. Make sure you do the things that you want to do. And with that, I want to thank you on behalf of Placida and Zurika, signing out. Take care.
If you want to live an amazing life and grow a business that serves you, then visit minimalistentrepreneur.com and sign up for laser-focused strategies discussed by well-renowned entrepreneurs. Be free. Own your life. You deserve it.